this is the first video on the series about coronavirus quarantine self-isolation tips from an autistic perspective. My first guest is actually Aspling, or Vicky. I hope I pronounced your name right.
Yeah, that's right.
Great. But yeah, since this is going to be pretty casual, I'm going to have a few other guests as well. The first thing I'd thought I'd ask is, what are your tips and tricks for keeping a self-isolated lifestyle as an autistic?
Um, it's really difficult because I found, and I think a lot of people, it's like having like that lack of routine can be really difficult. So I've started kind of setting an alarm in the morning so that I wake up at a certain time and have a set time when I go to bed as well, because my sleeping pattern has been completely off and I've been so tired because of it. So kind of setting set times for things has really helped because it's I know what's happening. It's that kind of structure. And I've also started doing kind of like meditation and yoga before I go to bed as well. Because that kind of it helps me to relax and unwind before I actually go to sleep, which is really, really helpful. And I also have in my living room, I have a massive whiteboard for me and my husband, and it's split up for his tasks, my tasks, and the stuff we do together. So we have a visual of everything that we know we're doing for the week, and that's really really helpful. So I know where he's at and where I'm at, and it's just nice to look at so that I'm kind of it's some predictability when everything else is kind of uncertain at the moment. Having that there so I know what I'm doing is really really helpful.
That's awesome. For myself, I've actually tried to keep a structure, otherwise, I just get bored and have nothing to do. And most of the things I do is at home anyway, like blog work and such. And I've tried to make a structure like wake up at the same time, go to bed around a similar time. And as long as I just make myself things to do for the day, it keeps me organised, because once I'm done everything, I'm just like, what do I do now? But I've tried to keep weekends completely chill, otherwise I just burn out. Um, but yeah, it's just, I think in this predicament, it's good to appreciate structures more so now.
Yeah, I found I didn't think I had such a kind of strict routine, but then not having a routine at all makes you realize actually, no, I need that. It was something that really, really helped, and I took it for granted, I think a little bit. So,
Yeah, I think I did that as well to some degree, because I realised this past week or two, I've realised that I've actually been more in the routine than I usually do, and I'm just like, hold on a second. I'm actually more in the routine now than I was before, despite always planning and such before, and have my good days and my bad days, but it's definitely more rigid now.
yeah, I found that because I'm trying so hard to keep that structure, it is so kind of strict and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but as you were saying, I find that if I don't have things to do, I do get bored. And everyone's like, why don't you like learn a new language or do home workouts? And I'm like, I don't want to put pressure on myself to do those things. So even though I'm trying to keep busy, I'm doing it kind of on my terms, kind of doing what I want to do rather than kind of forcing myself to do something just for the sake of it.
Ah, totally, totally. I totally agree with that. It's like everyone's all of a sudden going, oh, learn this new thing. Oh, here's all this stuff. A few friends of mine have recommended me free courses, which is pretty cool. The problem with things like that is that I struggle to get motivated easily, or if I do start, I stop. It's the same with home workouts. I do enjoy them, but after a calendar schedule, I tend to fizzle out. But I'm trying to do more stretches and movement while I'm making a coffee or tea or something, so I don't just sit around all day. And One of my goals this year was to learn another language, but this was before the whole lockdown in the UK. So this in the mornings for me, I get up, I have breakfast, or even just have a banana, sit on my phone for a bit, having nice train tracks on the TV or nice relaxing music, and I look at what's in the news, so I don't need to panic about it on in the day, just to catch up, going, oh, what's going on with the whole COVID-19, and then I do my usual blog work and stuff. Although I'm trying to learn German, but my motivation's gone a bit weird. But I actually did try an attempt again this morning.
That's really cool. I like watching the news as well. I think it's good that they're doing like updates every day. I like that because you're kind of informed about what's going on. And at a time when I know I'm really anxious, it's really nice for someone to be like, well, this is what's happening. We want to kind of let you know. And that really helps, I think, with my anxiety and my stress.
Totally, I'm the same. Even though I usually look at stuff in the morning, it's more so now due to week daily updates with COVID-19. I'm like, okay, what's happening with the world this morning? So I feel like it maybe it may sound strange to other people, but I feel like getting all the crap in the morning, then get it over and done with helps, so you can actually focus on the rest of the day and the evening. Um, it's just one of those things I feel like you have to endure at some point, and then the rest of it you can focus on yourself. Another thing I've been doing is getting a few things for myself to make myself feel better in this current environment. I got a new a projector light thing from Amazon. I know Amazon, oh no, the whole Amazon thing. But the way I see it is that I think of all the people who work there and the working hours, pay, and the environment's not great. And I'm always forever grateful for those who still work in Amazon so we can get our stuff. I'm kind of sidetracked there. But the light I got was supposed to arrive for a few weeks, but it arrived yesterday. And it's a projector light which shows like aurora colours and such on the ceiling and around the walls. And it's just, I want to make a nice little environment for myself if I have to be, since I can't travel or anything. So, how you feel? How are you feeling since you can't really travel, or they can't really go outside, only for like the once a day exercise or to the shops kind of thing?
Not too bad. I think I like to stay at home a lot, but now we don't really have that choice. I usually choose to stay at home, but now someone's telling me I can't go out. It's difficult because I run, so I'm still getting out to run, which is really nice. And I'm still going to the shop once a week because I live with five other
Hmm.
people, so I do most of their shopping. And it's like you were saying about I like at the moment I'm only eating pizza because it's like a comfort food. But I go to the shop and buy loads of pizzas, and people look at me weird. So it's like what an essential item is for someone else isn't what I class an essential item, and kind of vice versa.
Hmm.
So it's kind of just being mindful that sometimes if you are ordering things like for self care and stuff like that, that for someone is essential, and not to kind of like judge someone for that.
I totally agree with that. One essential item could be different for someone else. It's like for me, I need my sugar, I need my chocolate, and it may seem like, oh, it's a snack, it's not essential, but sugar is my vice. If we're gonna be stuck at home, I
Hmm.
need my vice, and as much as I stay at home most of the time, I can be a recluse for like 2 weeks. Not having the choice of going out does drive me a bit insane. I
Yeah.
get total cabin fever, and I, even if it's just a random bus journey, I miss them. I really do. But even just that single going out to the shop, that one trip a day, or even a few times a week, does help me at least get some fresh air. So it's better than nothing.
Hmm. I read something somewhere, I think it's in France, that are letting autistic people go out to do like certain activities that helps them reduce their anxiety and stuff like that. And I think just like you said, getting out, even if it is just to go to the shop, it makes all the difference. It really does.
Totally. I was quite surprised. I was quite surprised by France with that one, because usually their reputation with treating autistic people is a bit bad. So when I heard that, I thought that's nice to hear, because a lot of people take autistic people for granted. They need certain adjustments that other people don't really think about. So every little helps. So we should all be helping each other out, especially with these situations.
Definitely. I think as well, having like the online, having that support right now as well is incredible, because you can just kind of pop online, and I find like text and messenger and stuff a lot easier anyway, so it's nice to have like other autistic people like on the end of like the line. It's really nice.
Yeah. And finally, before we finish up, one of the other things that does help, a lot of people tend to watch like Netflix or listen to Spotify or Amazon Video or even video games. That's one for me, even though I've not been really playing much video games except for the weekends. But it really helps. Another thing I think it helps is like fandom communities, like communities of your favourite series or favourite characters and things like that. And those communities are like an escape. And that's been that for me, and I just genuinely think that any sort of escape, even just for like a little while, kind of like a meditation mindset, does help. I really should get back to meditation. I've neglected it again.
It's hard. You sometimes have a set time to fit it in. You sometimes just you lose track of time. Sometimes the days just kind of roll into one. And I was just saying, I've been spending a lot of time while I've been in lockdown playing Animal Crossing. That's literally all I've done every day. I've just like sat and played Animal Crossing, and it's that escape. I'm on a little island with random villagers, and I'm just able to kind of just escape for a while and just be somewhere else.
Yeah, I know. It's a good thing Animal Crossing came out when it did, because everyone just went,
Yeah.
woof. All the people that loved Animal Crossing before, those are new to it, going, what's this game where you just, have a house and things and stuff? For me, I've never really played the series, but I can appreciate why people like it. For me, all I've been playing is team-based games like Overwatch, for instance. Occasionally Crash Team Racing, Nitro Fueled Online, or Paladins, and it's again with the whole community thing, and I just enjoy it. Not really been playing that much games besides that. It's terrible. But I feel like the Nintendo Switch is the ideal console for lockdown. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
I think Nintendo should put that as their subtitle. Oh, but
I bet their sales have like skyrocketed.
totally. Oh, they're having a field day, man.
Yeah.
But but yeah, Vicky. Thank you very much for participating in this the lockdown series in Aut-Ish. So
Thank you for inviting me.
no worries. You take care of yourself.